Hello, my name is Manya Singh. I am a doctoral candidate in the botany program at the School of Life Sciences. I was awarded the Maybelle Roth Award for conservation biology. I made this oil sketch to represent my research. Most of this picture is a grassland scene, and then in the upper right-hand corner, you can see a more green ecosystem with these pink flowers. I grew up in California. Like Hawaii, California has a lot of invasive grasses. Invasive grasses are really hard to get rid of, and it's really hard to restore areas that have been invaded by invasive grasses back to native ecosystems that support native plants. One of our new ideas about why this might be has to do with the soil microbial community, which is the bacteria and fungi and everything else that lives in the soil that is related to the plants that live above the soil. We now think that the microbial community, which stays after we remove the grasses, might be hurting the growth of the native plants, making it harder for restoration projects to be successful. To test this, I will be doing a greenhouse experiment. I'll be taking soil that I grew invasive grasses in. I'll take the whole soil and also a filtered, just the organisms condition. And then I'm going to see, where do native plants grow the worst? Do they grow the worst in the whole soil? Do they grow the worst in the commercial soil with just the organisms? Or do they grow the worst in commercial soil? And information that we get from this project can be utilized in future restoration practices to improve restoration outcomes. Hawaii is going to be very impacted by climate change, including some new environmental stressors like drought. This is going to have a significant influence on the success of restoration practices long term. So my greenhouse experiment will also contain a drought component to see how that might change the results. In addition to my greenhouse experiment, I am also doing a field experiment. I am partnering with a restoration that has already been planned in an area that is currently invaded by invasive grasses. And we're going to be adding activated carbon to their restoration practice. Activated carbon is known to change the soil and change the microbial community in a way that might improve outcomes for our native plants. They've had success using activated carbon in other areas in the world where invasive grasses are a problem, so we are hopeful that this will also be the case here in Hawaiian ecosystems, and if it is, then it could be utilized in ecosystems all over Hawaii to improve restoration outcomes. Thank you.